Have you ever wondered why it feels like bad people are winning in life? You do your best, to be honest. You work hard. You try to follow the right path. But then, you see liars, cheaters, and people with no morals getting the promotions, buying the big houses, and living what looks like a perfect life. And you think to yourself, this is so unfair. Why even try to do good when it seems like evil wins? If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. Even people in the Bible ask the exact same question. Today, I'm going to share a truth that will completely change how you see success, and it will bring you peace no matter what is happening around you. So stay with me until the very end of this video, because if you leave halfway, you'll miss the key that could help you stop comparing yourself to others and finally trust God His plan for your life. When we see bad people getting ahead, it's normal to feel frustrated. You see the cheater closing big deals, the liar getting promoted, the person who hurts others living in luxury. And you wonder, why do they have it so easy while I struggle just to do the right thing? Even a faithful man in the Bible, Asaph, felt this way. In Psalm 73, he says, "But as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold, for I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They have no struggles. Their bodies are healthy and strong. They are free from common human burdens. They are not plagued by human ills." Asaph was basically saying, God, I don't understand. I'm trying to be faithful, but look at them. They're living the good life. This is a dangerous place for our hearts, because when we focus on the success of the wicked, we risk losing our faith. We start to wonder, maybe I should do what they do. Maybe that's how you get ahead. But this is exactly the trap the enemy wants us to fall into. He wants to pull our eyes away from God's truth and trick us into thinking that temporary empty success is worth more than eternal blessing. Let's start with a man named Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. He had everything, power, wealth, and an army that made nations tremble. He oppressed God's people, the Israelites, forcing them into slavery. At first it looked like he would rule forever, but when God sent Moses to demand freedom for his people, Pharaoh's heart grew harder. He ignored the warnings. Then came the plagues. Rivers turned to blood, darkness covered the land, yet Pharaoh still refused to listen. Finally, God delivered his people through the Red Sea, and when Pharaoh's army chased them, the waters crashed down, destroying the very power Pharaoh trusted in. In one moment, the mighty king was brought to nothing. That's what false success looks like. Strong today, gone tomorrow. Now let's meet Haman from the book of Esther. Haman was honored by the king and loved the attention. But when one man, Mordecai, refused to bow to him, Haman's pride turned into hatred. He plotted to destroy all of Mordecai's people. Everything seemed to go Haman's way. He even built a giant gallows to hang Mordecai on. But God had a different plan. In a twist only God could design. The king discovered Haman's evil scheme and ordered that Haman be hung on the very gallows he built for Mordecai. The trap Haman made for others became his own downfall. Finally, there's King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. He was the most powerful ruler of his time. One day, he stood on his palace roof and said, "Look at this great Babylon I have built, by my power and for my glory." In that moment, his pride overflowed, and instantly, God humbled him. Nebuchadnezzar lost his throne, his sanity, and lived like a wild animal for 7 years. Only when he looked up to heaven and acknowledged God's greatness was he restored. These 3 stories remind us, what looks like success without God never lasts. It may rise high for a season, but eventually, every heart is humbled. Every hidden plan is revealed, and God's justice prevails. The Bible makes it very clear, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6. The truth is, people who do wrong might look like they're winning, but that kind of success never lasts. Imagine a house built on sand. It might look beautiful for a while, but when the storm comes, everything collapses in an instant. That is exactly what happens to the success of the wicked. When we let anger or jealousy grow inside us, we actually hurt ourselves, not them. Envy steals our joy, poisons our mind, and makes us blind to our own blessings. Have you ever felt that bitterness? It's like drinking poison, hoping the other person will get sick. But in the end, you're the one suffering. This is why God calls us to let go of envy and trust Him. When you doubt His justice, your faith begins to shake. And if your faith shakes long enough, you may start thinking, maybe I should do what they do to get ahead. That's a dangerous trap. Small wrong choices, repeated over time, slowly change your heart. Before you realize it, you've moved far away from God's purpose for you. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own path. God's timing is perfect, and His plan for you is better than anything this world offers. The wicked may seem unstoppable, but their success is only temporary. Trust this promise. As you sow, so shall you reap. God sees every action, and His justice will come, in this life or in eternity. So don't waste your peace chasing after what they have. Your job is simple. Stay faithful, stay humble, and stay close to Him. So how do you keep your peace when it feels like bad people are winning? The answer isn't to ignore what's happening, it's to see it with eyes of faith. Take a deep breath, be still, quiet your mind and heart, and remember, God is in control, even when you can't see what He's doing. Tell Him your frustration, pour out your worries to Him, and when you do, He will replace your anxiety with peace. Waiting is not weakness, it's an act of faith. Psalm 73 says, "When I tried to understand this, it troubled me deeply, until I entered the sanctuary of God, then I understood their final destiny." Those who seem unstoppable today are standing on slippery ground. In a single moment, they can fall completely swept away. Focus on your path. Your job is not to judge others or chase their kind of success. Your job is to live faithfully, do what is right, and trust that your true reward comes from God, not the world. Remember this, the success of the wicked is like weeds. It grows fast, but it also dies fast. The blessing that comes from God is like a tree planted by a river. Its roots run deep, and it will stand through every storm. Which path will you choose? Will you keep worrying about others, or will you find peace by trusting God's perfect justice? If this message touched your heart, leave a comment saying, "I trust in God's justice." And don't forget to subscribe so we can grow in faith together. God bless you.